Alrighty, good day to all you glorious Rascallion resonators, you absolute lovely bastards. My name is FOXSOL, like always, and welcome to another topic of conversation here on WutheringWaves. In today's topic of conversation, I'd like to sit down and talk about a topic that typically on live streams I have once in a while, and that is about the difficulty of WutheringWaves, especially since Camellia has come evolved and is now here. It has brought that question and has brought back, how difficult really is WutheringWaves? So, if you would, grab yourself a drink, kick your feet up, relax, and let's dive into this topic of conversation together. Alrighty, so like I stated before, I've had this conversation multiple times with a lot of people on my live streams. How difficult is WutheringWaves in reality? My opinion about it is, I feel that WutheringWaves, when you're first starting out and into mid-game, and what I mean by that is you're still like union level 40, 50-ish, the game is still that of a challenge. Whether you're versing Tower Adversity, Tactical Hologram bosses, doesn't matter. The in-game side of things has, when you're at that low of a level, and especially if you have characters that are summon 0, summon 1 characters with like a rank 1 weapon, the game is rather difficult. And that is because pretty much you haven't gotten to the point to where you've hit, the absolute top of the hill. You have hit pretty much just a wall. And once you build up your level with your union level, you start getting up there to, 60, 70, and then even when you hit 80, your character levels grow. And then you can build your character from, level 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, all the way into 90. And when you hit that cap, and you are actually able to go ahead and max out your character by maxing out their tree skill, based upon what you want to do, getting decent amount of echoes, getting, your weapon maxed out. The game, in all honesty, becomes rather easy, to be completely honest. Things that used to be a challenge are no longer a challenge. That's how I feel. Now, the way I've expressed this in a lot of different ways, especially with Camellia's release. Camellia, she came out and we did a test. We played a summon 0 level 90 character. We maxed out her skill. We put decent echoes on her, not the perfect echoes. Actually, some of the echoes were actually trash, to be completely honest. She only had a 40% crit rate with like 150% crit damage. We maxed out her signature weapon. We left her an S0 R1 character, and we went do Tower Adversity. We went go do, a Tactical Hologram boss, which was Tempest. We went do the Monkey. We went do Ajax. And here comes another thing about WutheringWaves. The content was no longer hard. First and foremost, there is some people out there that I do believe that even with Camellia, they're struggling, but they don't have a maxed out Camellia. They don't have things completely done yet. We do. And we tested things, whether it is, quality of life updates or whatever, because even like Tempest got, nerfed. The thing about it is that the way I look at it is that when you starting in this game, you're going to see a very challenging Dark Souls style game. I would feel like that's how I felt about it. I felt that it was a challenge, kind of like me playing Dark Souls for the first time. The thing is, though, unlike Dark Souls, when you hit the end game, your characters are maxed out. They're level 90. You got their trees maxed out. You've probably got an additional summon here and there because you put it into the character. You have put in time and effort into the echoes. The content that is surrounding it is not really based on the idea of, oh, you got a maxed out character, so we need to test it. It's based on the idea of people who's just playing the game on average and is pretty much still at a lower level. I don't think that WutheringWaves is a difficult game, and especially with a character like Camellia. My thought pattern behind it is that Camellia itself is a very accessible character, especially for in the hands of a casual player, that pretty much you could just hit buttons and go play and do things, and you don't feel stressed out. You don't feel like you have to try hard, and it just flashiness, you know, the flashiness of the character. It goes in, wham bang, thank you ma'am. She comes in and blows things up. She has incredible damage. She has a credible kit that just makes her very user friendly and makes her, in my personal opinion, somewhat of a top tier character. And that again, portrayed, you know, with power creeping, if you would like to call it that, just makes it to where the character pretty much does content 10 times easier than some other characters. But coming into this point, the point is, whether it's based on the characters, whether it's based on you leveling up characters, the issue that I see here is that WutheringWaves does not have a system yet that is designed to actually push you to optimize your characters, to optimize your echoes, to make sure that you need to do all this stuff here and there in order to make sure your rotations are proper. Like, there's no force into actually getting a player to have to play, dare I say it, meta. A lot of people are going to tell you that, oh, you need 70% crit rate. You need to have at least 200% crit damage for your DPS character. You need to max out your support team. You know, you need to make sure your sub DPS has damage. And these are things that I don't believe is actually true. I have played this game since day one, and I have showcased myself playing against tactical hologram bosses, playing against, you know, Tower Adversity with the most unoptimized setups that you can believe in, with me screwing up on purpose the entire rotation, especially like with Shorekeeper and everything, that, you know, I don't get the fully maxed out necessary needs. I got my Shorekeeper on a 4-4-1-1-1, you know, echo scheme that only has like 200% energy regen, so she's not even fully optimizing, you know, a 12.5% crit rate or 25% crit damage, and we're still completing content. And that's where I think that, you know, for those people out there that when we had these conversations, yeah, WutheringWaves does not have a system in place yet to make it to where you and me, who has gotten to the end of this game, actually has something that forces us as players to really have to adjust the way we're playing to pretty much complete the content. We can play any which way, shape, form we want. We can play optimally, we can play lazily, we can play pretty much, you know, however you would like to do it. And hey, just because you're playing optimal and you got a 20-second lead on me in completing content, I still complete it. So that's where I think my case and thought is on this, is that when it comes to WutheringWaves, I do see that there is a challenge for people who are starting out, for people who are mid, you know, in the mid tier of their union levels. Their characters are still, you know, maxed out at level 50 and so. But the moment that they get to the point to where their union level allows them to have their characters at level 90 and they're ready to go, that once they have put in their effort to build up their skill trees, especially on the DPSs, they start working on their echoes to make sure the echoes are a little bit more optimized, a little bit better than what they normally would be. Once you have all of these things together, you pretty much are going to see that the game is less of a challenge and more of just go in and destroy everything and have fun. I hope that maybe future-wise, Kuro will take a look at something like this and be like, yeah, we need to implement something more into the grand scheme, especially with 2.0 coming right around the corner, you know, to force players to adjust the way they play, to play more optimally. But until then, like, I don't see at this current present time, and I haven't seen this for a very long time, that there's anything in general that really, especially in the end game, forces a challenge. Unless otherwise you, the player yourself, creates a challenge, there is no true demand for a challenge. We've gone on this live stream multiple times with summon zero characters. We have people who've shown us videos of them with their summon zero characters going through Tower Adversity and single-handedly collecting all 3 of the, you know, the medals with just a signature weapon, rank 1, and a summon zero character, and doing it with just 1 character, not with a full team. But I'll leave it with that, and I'm going to just say it like this. Tell me what your thoughts is down below in the comments. Do you think that, you know, WutheringWaves, that Kuro Games future-wise should maybe enforce a little bit more of a difficulty pattern into the game? Do you think that they should include a different mode or something for players who are looking for a challenge, and that way we can have that enforced? Or do you like WutheringWaves just the way it is? I like to hear it. So otherwise than that, guys, you take it easy, you have a good one, and I'll catch you either on the next live stream or I'll catch you on the next video. Peace.